Did you get into photography at an early age, or when did that start?
I didn't get into photography at an early age. I always loved pictures. So I can remember when I was about 7 years old, someone had died that was friends with my grandparents. And they were talking about wills and probate and all of this stuff. And I was asking, what does that mean? And they said, well, a will kind of leaves things that you own to people that you want them to go to. And I said, well, when you die, I want all of the photo albums and all the pictures off the wall. And they thought that was funny. And that is what I ended up getting from my grandparents. But I always just had a fascination with portraits. And then it led into getting started with photography with my brother's high school senior portraits.
Well, of course, you didn't know nearly as much as you know now. Like, how did you start?
I honestly did not know anything about photography. I had a digital point and shoot camera. My brother has epilepsy. So when it was time to get his senior portraits done, I had a bad experience with a photographer. And I just wanted to make sure that was catered to him and his needs, and someone was patient. So I took him actually out behind where my studio is now and photographed his senior portraits with a point and shoot camera. People loved those. They said, you should do this for a living. I said, you're crazy. I don't know anything about this. No one would ever pay for me to take their pictures. And from there, I just kind of started to study. I watched videos. I upgraded to a DSLR. I would literally put fruit in a bowl, and I would photograph it at different times of day to just watch the lighting. And I really self-taught for about 2 years. And then at my first photography convention that I went to, I was actually teaching there too. So that was exciting.
Oh, wow. Cool. So what was your first camera?
My first DSLR was a Canon Rebel XTI.
How has technology changed just since you've started?
Oh, wow. It's changed so much. I started off with a point and shoot camera, and then I went to a DSLR, and now I'm on a mirrorless camera. Everything's getting lightweight. Everything's, in my opinion, is getting easier. Photography, even videography, as long as you want to put in the work, both of us know that it can be done.
Touching on that, what would you give a new photographer, if you were to give them tips on how to start and, everyone work together, what would you tell a new photographer?
A new photographer, I would just say definitely get your business license. I would say get insured. Definitely have some liability insurance. And beyond that, you need to think about your time and the investment, and whether or not you think your images are as good as mine or better than mine or not even close. That doesn't determine your success as a photographer. It really doesn't. I know photographers that I personally would not hire because I'm not a fan of their work that charge 3 times what I do. Mm-hmm. Your clients will value you. You'll make a connection. So the thing is just pricing yourself equivalent.
All right. So let's talk about some of the struggles.
Sure.
What would be your biggest struggles since starting? Capital
for equipment, for the newest technology, for the best lights, the best props, the best studio. It was a lot of that. Money is not easy to come by. It's a lot of, for me, even till this day, we're so slow, January through February or March, I'll put $10,000 or $15,000 on my credit card in the spring to just pay it off in the fall to just reinvest in my business. January, February, March, I might shoot 20 clients. August through December, I might photograph 250. So there's just a big difference there. And you really, money management, knowing where your money's going. It's so easy. Just somebody write you a check and then go buy groceries out of that because, hey, that's what you need to do. I've been there. So money management is huge. Capital and startup money is huge. It was always frustrating for me when I was just trying to just scrape up that $1,000 to buy that DSLR camera, and then some kid got it for a graduation gift. And, I was like, oh, really? I can't even get that. Being on a schedule every day and going to work is what makes you successful. It doesn't make you complacent. You've got a job to do, whether that's answering emails or putting together some Instagram stories to keep people engaged. You have to keep going, but I don't think you have to go 24 hours a day. You need to set a schedule. You need to have some me time. You got to have time for your family.